Hello, good morning, my lovely kids. Welcome to Gurukul English Medium School. How are you all? Hope you all are good and doing your studies well. Children, how was your practice paper? I know you all have done very good. Today we are back with our English class. Children, till now we have completed our Unit 1 and today we will start Unit 2 from our textbook, and that is our 11th lesson. And the name of the lesson is The Sugar Plum Tree. Yes, this is a poem and the name of the poet is Eugene Field. This poem is all about imagination. Children, just tell me, when you go to bed at night and as you feel asleep, what do you see? Yes, you see sweet dreams. And in the dreams, some are flying in the sky, some are doing surfing over the water, and some are climbing the mountains. You do such things in dreams, such as the poet is telling what children see in their dream when they are asleep. Now children, look at this picture and tell me, which tree is this? Is it an apple tree? No. Is it a mango tree? No. You can see it is little bit different kind of tree. And the fruits are also looking different. So can you guess which tree is this? No? Okay. This is sugar plum tree. And our today's poem is all about sugar plum tree. Now I will read out the poem for you. Then I will explain it to you. Have you ever heard of the sugar plum tree? 'Tis a marvel of great renown. It blooms on the shore of the Lollipop Sea, in the garden of Shut-Eye Town. The fruit that bears so wondrously sweet, as those who have tasted it say, that the good little children have only to eat of that fruit to be happy next day. Now children, you will repeat with me. Okay? Good. Have you ever heard of the sugar plum tree? 'Tis a marvel of great renown. It blooms on the shore of the Lollipop Sea, in the garden of Shut-Eye Town. The fruit that it bears is so wondrously sweet, as those who have tasted it say, that the good little children have only to eat of that fruit to be happy next day. Very good. So children, how was the song? I know you enjoyed it. Okay, so now I will explain you the first stanza. Okay, the first stanza is, have you ever heard of sugar plum tree? Here the poet is asking that ever you have heard of sugar plum tree. 'Tis a marvel of great renown. Children, 'tis means it is. Marvel means wonderful or amazing thing or person. Renown means a very, very famous thing or person. 'Tis a marvel of great renown, and it is very popular and famous among all other people and children. It blooms on the shore of the Lollipop Sea, and where it blooms beside the Lollipop Sea. Yes, children, the sea full of lollipops and candies, and the sugar plum tree blooms beside the Lollipop Sea, in the garden of Shut-Eye Town. where the tree is blooming, where the sugar plum tree is blooming, beside the lollipop sea. And where is the lollipop sea? It is in the garden of Shut-Eye Town. Children, what is the meaning of Shut-Eye Town? It means when you close your eyes and go to bed and you are asleep, then you can see this sugar plum tree loaded with lollipops and candies beside the lollipop sea. And these all things you can see only in your dreams. Now the next stanza. The poet is saying, the fruit that it bears is so wondrously sweet. Means the fruit, which fruit, children? Lollipop. Yes, that it is carrying is so wonderful and full of flavor, as those who have tasted it say. The poet does not know the flavor. The children, those who have tasted, they are saying about the taste and the flavor. And the good children like you all eat all the day fruit of the tree and can be happy for all the next day. That the good children, little children, have only to eat of that fruit to be happy next day. Yes, the poet is saying those children who are eating this, they know the flavor, they know the flavor of the candies, of the lollipops, and they are very happy for the next day because they all have tasted it. I know you all love and like candies and lollipops, and if you see a tree full of lollipops, then I am sure you will think of that dream the next full day. But children, this is all imagination of the poet. No such tree is there in reality. But I hope you all see such dreams every night and be happy for the next day. Children, hope you liked and understood the poem. Children, there are some rhyming words in the poem. Let's find out. From the first stanza, there is tree, sea, renowned, town. From the second stanza, sweet, eat, say, day. Very good. These are some rhyming words from the poem. I know that you all want some candies and lollipops now to make your day wonderful. That's good. But don't forget to complete your work. Children, for Unit 2, you have to write in this book. Semester 1, Book 2. Okay? So complete your work every day and read the poem once or twice. That's all for today. See you in the next class. Till then, take care. Love you all. Goodbye. Good morning, dear students, and a warm welcome to Gurukul English Medium School. How are you all? Hope you all are good and doing well in your studies. We are back with our English class with one more interesting lesson, and that is our 12th lesson. And the name of the lesson is Dr. Dolittle Learns Animal Language. Children, just think, if someday an animal comes nearby you and starts talking with you, what will happen? I know you will get afraid of that. Maybe you will run from there. But children, you won't believe that there is a doctor who can understand the animal's language, and he is used to talk with them in their language. The name of the doctor is Dr. John Dolittle. He is a character in a series of children's book created by British author Hugh Lofting. Dr. Dolittle is a physician who gave up human patients in favor of animals with whom he can speak in their own languages. The story are of early Victorian England where Dr. Dolittle lived in the fictional English village. Our today's lesson is when a parrot very first introduces the doctor that animals also have their own language, and the doctor is very much excited to hear all about that, and they start their conversation. Some characters of this story are Polynesia the parrot, John Dolittle the doctor, Jip the dog.
Now listen, doctor. I will tell you something. Did you know that animals can talk?
I knew that parrots can talk.
Oh, the parrots can talk in two languages, people's language and birds' language. If I say, Polly wants a biscuit, you understand me. But hear this. Kaka, oi, Fifi.
Good gracious! What does that mean?
That means, is the porridge hot yet? In bird language.
My, you don't say so? You never talked that way to me before.
What would have been the good?
Dusting some biscuit crumbs off her left wing.
You would not have understood me if I had.
Tell me some more.
Excited, the doctor rushed over to the dresser drawer and came back with a notebook and a pencil.
Now don't go too fast and I will write it down. This is interesting. Very interesting. Something quite new. Give me the birds ABC first. Slowly now.
So that was the way the doctor came to know that animals had a language of their own and could talk to one another. And all that afternoon, while it was raining, Polynesia sat on the kitchen table giving him bird words to put down in the notebook. At the tea time, when the dog Jip came in, the parrot said to the doctor,
See, he is talking to you.
Looks to me as though he were scratching his ears.
But animals do not always speak with their mouths.
said the parrot in a high voice, raising her eyebrows.
They talk with their ears, with their feet, with their tails, with everything. Sometimes they don't want to make a noise. Do you see now the way he is twitching up one side of his nose?
What does that mean?
That means, cannot you see that it has stopped raining? He is asking you a question. Dogs nearly always use their noses for asking questions.
After a while, with the parrot's help, the doctor got to learn the language of the animals so well that he could talk to them himself and understand everything they said. Then he gave up being a people's doctor altogether. Children, hope you enjoyed the conversation of parrot and the doctor. Now I will explain you the lesson. Children, in the lesson, Polynesia, the parrot, tells the doctor that all animals have their own languages and as well the birds too. The doctor tells that he knows that parrots can speak. Polynesia tells that you don't know that we birds have our own language too. Kaka oi fifi. It means that is the porridge hot yet? Doctor was surprised to hear that and excited to listen more. Now he wants to know all about their language as he was getting interested in it. He took his pen and book and told Polynesia to give all the information about their language, and Polynesia, sitting on the table, started giving all the learning to the doctor of their language. But meanwhile, the dog Jip entered the room and started talking with the doctor. This Polynesia told the doctor, but the doctor is surprised and telling Polynesia that he is looking at me and scratching his ear. How could I understand that what he want to tell me? Polynesia tells that animals don't speak with their mouth. They talk with their ears, feet, tail and everything. Even sometimes they don't want to make any noise. You can see how Jip is twitching up one side his nose because his nose has stopped raining. Children, dogs use their nose to talk. In this way, Polynesia gave all the information about animals' language and the doctor gave up of being human doctor. Now hope you understood the lesson. Children, you can read many more stories from the series of Dr. Dolittle books. Children, if you cannot understand the language of animals, it's okay, but be always kind towards them. Read the lesson 1 and do your writing work every day. That is all for today. Take care of yourself. Thank you. Goodbye.